Well, good morning, everybody. It is Dave, and here is my friendly feline Bo, cruising around the yard on a beautiful Friday afternoon. It is February the 6th, 2026, and we're going to cruise around. Let me show you what we've done over the past week, because we've done a lot, but not a whole lot in terms of plant material. So as you can see, and I think I talked about this last week on the fence over here, is that it's just getting old, and you can definitely see like the separation in the fence too. And I really don't want to end up seeing the neighbor. So what I'm doing right now is I'm rebuilding the fence. So it's coming out pretty nice. I am using cedar, and so you can see I got some 4x4s in, the 2x4s, and it's just, I'm really happy with it. And I am staggering the planks so that it does cover any of the spaces between the old panels. So that's what's going on there. I'm going to be staining this probably tomorrow. We're not having any rain in the forecast in the time being, and then I'm going to finish probably one more section, and then I can start rebuilding the picket fence here, because when I built the planters with the bricks here, you know, they were just, I put the bricks in wrong, and they should have been a little bit over to the post. But what I'm going to do, because this needs to be rebuilt anyway, is I'm going to go ahead, put in some new fencing, and have the 4x4s a little bit more out, and then I'll move this 4x4 a little bit more in toward the building. So that'll make it a little bit nicer. Other than that, what else is going on? We've got hot weather. We hit 90 on Wednesday last week, and most of the days since we talked last were in the 80s. So we've got pittosporum beach ball here. We've got cat bow behind here. This is a comprosma. This is a mirror plant. And you can definitely see, and this is why the roses need to be cut back, is we don't want any disease problems wintering over. And unfortunately for us this year, I can't remember a year that's been warmer during the winter. So I was able to cut some of the plants back, but so many of them just didn't go dormant. It was wild. I mean, we had 80 degrees basically in December and January, and now into February. So it's been pretty tough. Back here, I moved that big Leonotis, and I went ahead and put that into the corner. I actually gave my sister a portion of it, and because she's the one who actually planted it here many years ago. This is a really cool plant. I've mentioned it a couple times. This is Santolina, which they use it a lot in potpourri. You definitely don't want to put this next to a walkway where someone's going to brush against it, because it is very overpowering. Over here, we've got our triple grafted plum tree. We've got a whole bunch of iris blooming still, which is kind of cool. And then we've got a lot of new growth coming out from the roses. So we've got like Garden Party, we've got Tournament of Roses back here, we've got Duet, and in the back is Queen Elizabeth. 49er kind of obscured by the irises, and behind that, between 49er and Bow, is Chrysler Imperial. Over here, sweet pea shrub. And as we get back into here, gigantic foxglove. This is how the Leonotis is doing. So it's all leafing out, transplanted just fine, and that's osmanthus. We have blooms. This is Rio Samba, and again, February 6th. I'm really hoping the dogwood will do well this year. This will be its second year in that spot, and it's the first time it's been in a spot for more than 1 year. So I'm hoping that the roots will be established. I had worked on this maybe about a week or so ago, and this is Ingrid Bergman, Sterling Silver, Color Magic, and Just Joey are the varieties. Some variegated oregano, and then some false heather in front. The Alba variety. So it is white, and then that is a carex grass in the back. The sticks in the foreground are a Japanese maple called Indian Summer. The sticks in the background, that is Red Dragon Japanese maple. A few more irises, apricot, and we also have some genetic dwarf, I should say, fruit trees. Genetic dwarfs were big back in the 80s because they do stay small. I have them, 100% of the reason for having them is the blossoms. They have a double blossom to them, pinks and reds. As far as fruit production goes, fruit production is poor, not only in quantity, but also as far as actual taste and all that goes. I can't wait to see some of the flowers coming up on the Scylla. Nothing quite yet, but I mean, look at all the Scylla here. We've got the transplanted acacia here called Cousin It. In the background, we've got that monstrous blood lily, Hyacinths. And even a little bit of some dianthus blooming. And back there, that's Chocolate Cosmos. And I've got a lot of ajuga all around the place. So as Bo lays down, we're gonna go ahead and cruise around. I have some of the stuff from the far side of the garage out here so it doesn't get into the way of building the fence. Got all my Japanese maples here. So I've got some of the newer varieties that I just got about a week or two ago. Some of the ones I've been sitting on for a couple of months. By the way, these are Brussels sprouts coming up. This was kind of like my area where I just started throwing things that I ended up not planting or had mostly died off. Some celery, nice stand of celery. And then let me move around so we're not facing the sun, but you can kind of see as well this cool kind of Japanese garden area up here. So I created this little edging for the really long lodge poles at Home Depot. You can get those. They're about 8 feet in length, and I just cut them up into about 1 foot sections, stagger the heights when I bury them, and I surround them also with sand so that they're not moving that much at all. So the sand really puts them into place and hopefully will make them last a little bit longer than just putting them in dirt. Bo has decided to join us. She can't be too far away. We've got some liriope plants. We've got some daylilies. Look at how nice this rose has leafed out from Antique Rose Emporium. We got a Cypressus Wilma is the variety. We've got gardenias, and then up above is the Hyacinths, the Chinese fringe tree. And also, hold on. I don't know how well that's gonna point out into that, but we've got a little praying mantis seed case there. This is a Scotch pine called Penguin. We've got Makawa Yetsubusa, which is a Japanese maple back there. Those are the sticks. We've got this plant here is now done blooming for right now, and I'm still not quite sure like how I'm gonna prop it up. But this is Heliotropium Ecuador, which has turned into like one of my kind of favorite plants. But I'm not quite sure what to do with it. I'm thinking about maybe putting some wood as almost like a trellis for it to grow back there in the corner. We've got some Clivia blossoms coming up. They should be in bloom in a couple weeks. Got more over here. A newly planted rose. Liriope Silver Dragon. And over here, oops, we've got more Ajuga, some Carex, Feather Falls is the variety. I don't remember what this one is offhand. I believe it's a Cedar. And in the back, Deutzia, New Guinea Impatiens, and of course a Plumeria. I moved the Plumeria back. It's still fine, don't worry about it. It is dormant this time of year, and so I'm looking forward to it leafing out in probably another couple of months. Other things I can't wait to show you. Look at that cute little tulip down there at the base. Shasta daisies, hyacinths coming up. Now these are traditional hyacinths. This, my friends, is from, now I can't remember the company. I'll make sure to put it in the description. Old Garden Bulbs, Old Garden Plants, something like that. But they have a wonderful website, and they do basically bulbs that were around before everything started becoming cultivars. This is a hyacinth that dates back to like the classical age, like literally the Roman Empire. And you can definitely see along the stem how loosely the flowers are, and totally different than what we normally see in the hyacinths, which I'll show you in just a little bit what they look like, of the current modern varieties, which heavily laden in blossoms that are close to or next to one another. We do have some daffodils coming up. I was a little concerned. These are called February Silver. They always bloom in February, and I was a little concerned with them not coming up quite yet, but they're just beginning to poke through. Another rose. We've got in the background the variegated geranium, Chamaecyparis, some columbine, Acer Shirasawanum Jordan, more hyacinths, one of the white hyacinths, regular heliotrope. Still have that beautiful blossom. Dahlia. And also, I don't know if I have shown you lately, but I picked up this from Andy's Orchids 2 years ago. Take a look at that orchid. It is in the Dendrobium family, but I just thought that was so cool. And they had like literally hundreds of them just hanging down from, you know, pipes in the greenhouse. And I'm like, I gotta have one of those. It wasn't that expensive, and it's just done really well out here. Again, I'm outside in Southern California. Beautiful geraniums in bloom. So, I mean, it's early spring. At least it feels like it. And look at all the African daisies. The Leucojum are looking really good the further back you go. The early ones, they are almost shot. But I did want to bring you back here to another Hyacinths. This one is so cool, and I don't think I can really pronounce all that here. We'll call it paintbrush lily. But take a look at that. Reminds me of the blood lily. Not quite open yet. And then the foliage is really tropical. It is like a Dracaena palm, if you know what that is. Definitely strap-like foliage. And quite honestly, I got this last year at Covina Garden Center. They gave it to me. They were so kind. And they had also given me the blood lily. Unfortunately, as soon as I got this, it was like, oh, it's fine, it's fine. And then it like totally just collapsed. I'm like, oh my gosh, I killed it after 2 weeks. No, it went dormant. It is a bulb. You can kind of see the bulb down there. And it's doing great. So also a few hyacinths are over here. Some of them have already bloomed out, but this white one, let me get this out of the way, has just opened. And again, super fragrant, one of my favorite fragrances for February. So we kind of go from the Magnolia Solangiana fragrance to the hyacinths that I've kind of put here and there throughout the garden. Let's see, anything else back here I need to show you? I don't think so. But we'll take a look maybe one more time at the, oh, there's something I need to show you. Oh, daffodils. Daffodils are in bloom. This is a variety I don't know the name of, but it is just, has been here for years and years and years. Always comes up, one of the first daffodils to bloom. And then of course we have the other daffodils that are just coming up. Looking forward to seeing how those do. And then the last thing I want to show you is the magnolia. You can already see it leafing out. Again, it was like 90 degrees here last week, and most of the week was in the 80s. So unfortunately, a lot of these blooms are about spent. A lot of the foliage now coming on. And of course, a lot of mess. But fortunately, it's just a real quick time for a couple of weeks. Sounds like a helicopter is going to go overhead. So I will wish everyone a wonderful week in the garden, and we will be back next week with more stuff.